Oh, wow, that is really loud. Anyways, welcome back to another edition of Nightmare Stories the Other Side. Tonight we welcome in Courtney Donohue. She is one of the newest members of Nightmare.Explorers. So welcome in, Courtney, and tell the viewers a little bit about yourself.
Okay. So I'm a nurse. I have been involved in the paranormal for, I would say, like, gotta be like 20. I've literally been interested in the paranormal since I was in eighth grade. I did research projects on the paranormal when I was in middle school and high school, and like every attempt I could um, to be involved in it in some way. And like all the kids like going to like the cemeteries, and like in high school and messing around and all that. Definitely did that. I would say I got more serious about it in the last few years. And I would say it's a definite hobby of mine. In terms of my other hobbies, though, I would say hanging out with my dogs. I play the viola and I'm very interested in music. I actually write my own music to a certain degree, but um, hopefully get to do more of that. I just graduated with my master's degree as a nurse practitioner. So I have a lot more free time to do all of these things. Um, yeah, I would just say spending time with my family. I'm just kind of trying to get into like my hobbies again after being in school for like 8 years. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Do you have like specific questions? I suck at these things.
No, you're good. It's kind of, we just kind of most times
Okay.
wing how the podcast goes. So let's go
Yeah.
all the way back to like eighth grade. What really, piqued your curiosity into the paranormal?
Actually, I'm fairly sure that I saw spirits when I was a young child.
Okay.
Um, my grandma's house was most likely haunted, at least when I was a child, because I specifically remember seeing like this woman in like this blue dress when I was younger, and it's like almost like so vivid, and you wouldn't expect it to be like as vivid in my memory as it is
Yeah.
if it was something that you just kind of like dreamt. And then there was another experience at my house when I was younger. And it was almost like this like dreamlike state, but I remember this little boy and he was like blue with like a halo kind of like standing in the basement.
Okay.
And I also used to have really bad night terrors and I would like scream outside my parents' door and I was just terrified all the time to be alone. And I really feel like I did see stuff in my parents' house. They also have a really creepy basement. So I don't know. As you get older, it's like you try to rationalize it, but it's still like so vivid in my mind. And even my parents kind of agree, like, yeah, I think something was going on because it was not necessarily normal behavior. So, anyways, since then, like early middle school, I've just been interested in the paranormal. And obviously, that's not something very normal for someone in
Right.
grade necessarily. And I had no outside, like, um, no other people like giving me that information. Like I just was interested in it and I sought it out on my own completely. Like my best friend got into it because of me. So it's just like there wasn't any reason for me to like be so interested in that other than like having a genuine like experience, in my opinion. Um, and yeah, I've always just been fascinated in it, I guess. I don't it's just yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, I work in a middle school setting and all the kids are like coming up to me all the time. It's like, hey, do you got any more cool ghost stories from your adventures? And it's like,
And this was like before, way back before like Ghost Hunters was even like real.
yeah,
This was before all these YouTube channels and like
yep,
this was not a popular thing. People thought I was weird, you know? Like,
yep.
and I didn't care. I just kept doing my thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I didn't really get into it until, what was it, 20 years ago, I think. So like I was living in a house with one of my friends and our backyard was a cemetery.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there was always strange occurrences around the house and he put video cameras up because just to kind of see what his dogs would get into. And one day opens the door down the basement. He goes, "You got to come up here. You got to see this video." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" His part of the house was always a disaster, unorganized, crap everywhere. On top of his fridge, you could not put a penny up there and you wouldn't be able to see it. But there was like this little silver coin thing about this big. All of a sudden, you see it flash on top of the fridge and it bounces off the counter on the floor. And it's like, what the heck? How did you even do that? We tried recreating it, like shaking the fridge, and it wouldn't even move. So it was just like little small things like that around the house that kind of, you know, got me interested into it, hearing like voices in the middle of the night and people walking around when he was at work because he worked overnights. And so I
Yeah.
didn't really pursue it after that, just kind of, got into watching, ghost videos and shows and all that, but didn't really do anything.
Yeah, that was like for me, it was before there was even shows. So I would just like read books like every time we go to like I was also like really interested in like historic things just in general.
Yeah,
Victorian era is like I mean, if there is a real like previous life, I definitely lived in the Victorian era, if you get my vibe. Like I'm
yeah.
obsessed with that. I just love everything in that era. But I would like seek out like books about history in that era and any like ghost related things. And I would just read all about it because there wasn't like a show really then.
Watch, yeah.
So, and I didn't have like access to that even. There wasn't like any kind of social media, it was just, yeah. So,
So, flash forward to like when you really got into doing it as a hobby, like, what was your first experience or, where'd you go?
yeah. So, actually, I feel like it's very unique. So, I used to work as a CNA before I was a nurse, and I used to do agency work, and I still do, but not in Wisconsin anymore. Originally from Wisconsin, moved here in 2018. So, 2016 era, I think it was 2015 or 2016. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Mount Washington. It's an old sanatorium in Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
I don't think so.
You should look it up. It's creepy, very, very creepy. Anyway,
Okay.
it used to be like a assisted living, and it was actually in very good condition in 2016. And they used it completely as assisted living. So, like all three floors, this whole sanatorium were all residents. And I mean, not all the rooms were filled. And it was just very unique facility. I've never seen anything like it. They basically took this old sanatorium and remodeled it like a little bit, but not very much. And just like
Okay.
people live in the rooms. Like it was crazy. So I would pass meds there. And of course, I worked night shift there. So you can see where this is going.
Yeah.
So I'm like, passing meds in this creepy hallway, which is like very original. And I'm going in the rooms but the hallway is just got this creepy vibe. And then so, everybody's sleeping and there was me and one other coworker, but she was on a different floor because we took like half and half.
Okay.
Right. And so I'm in the med room and there's just like nothing to do. Like I finished everything. I'm just sitting there and the med room was very like modernized. So it was like the only area where it was like not creepy at night. And I was like, I just want to like explore because why not? This is like the coolest facility I've ever
Yeah.
worked at. And I don't think I'm supposed to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyways. So um I'm like, okay, so I start exploring. They had this super creepy elevator. Like honestly, I think it was like a 20s or 30s, like 1930s elevator. Like it was original. Like they did not do anything with it, but it still worked. So that was the only elevator to the fourth floor, which I think used to be like a cafeteria or something I've heard. I don't know the exact history, but it was supposedly locked. I was like, okay, I want to check it out. So I take this creepy elevator all the way up, and it's like definitely terrifying in its own way, not necessarily ghostly, but like you're gonna die because
Yeah,
it's
they
super,
have an elevator like that at Old Hospital on
oh,
College Hill where it's
and
like,
it works like oof.
yeah.
It's terrifying. Anyway, so I had to use it because there was no other way up there. And then, so there's also like a little stairs once you get off the elevator, and it's pretty narrow. but there was like all these cool like murals, and I think they were like original from like painted by like the patients or something, but they were just cool. And I'm walking up the stairs. And so I get to the top door where that's like the entrance to the fourth floor. And I'm standing there and I'm looking through this window. Imagine like a hospital window, on the door. And I'm looking in there and I'm like, okay, this is cool. I can't really see that much. And then all of a sudden I get this like super creepy vibe, like out of nowhere, like just I don't know how to explain it exactly, but like just this terrifying, like, you should not be here vibe. And it wasn't like I was worried I was going to get in trouble because literally no one
Yeah.
was in the building. They didn't have security cameras in this building and the inside either. So it was just like this wave, I guess like a wave of energy that came over me. And it was like, just like gave me this feeling like dread, like you should not be here, And then I like,
Crazy.
swear to God, someone touched my back after that. And I'm like standing there, I'm like dead cold, like I don't know what the hell to do right now. And I just froze and I was like, oh my God. And then I just booked ass like down the
Nice.
stairs. And like I think I ended up running down the one hall and then realizing I had to take the elevator. So I was just terrified. And then after that, I was like, okay, I think I just had my real first paranormal, like legit paranormal experience as like an adult. Um,
Okay.
and I did go back to that facility, but I never worked night shift again. Um, I don't know. Yeah, it was just kind of like, well, what was that? And
Yeah.
I really want to know more about this now, like even more than I already had before. So that would probably be the one for me.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, and then there is some paranormal investigations that have been done there. I've kind of looked up some stuff on YouTube, and they say it's like not the haunted. I was like, I don't know. I feel like if you're there and just minding your own business, it might just be because I felt like there was something there with me, and I swear to God, someone touched my bag. So I don't
That's
know.
intense.
Yeah, and it's kind of like in a state of like disarray right now. There was I think it's interesting, but they have attempted to like update this facility like at least two or three times, and every company has like stopped like early on in the project, and then it says abandoned, and then there'll be like another company that picks up, oh, we're gonna change it in these fancy apartments, and then like I don't know, like 2 months in, they just abandon the project again. And it's like, I don't know if
Interesting.
this is just a money thing. It just seems weird. And so
Right.
it still hasn't been fixed up and it keeps getting worse and worse. Yeah, it used to be like a really nice building and now it's like all the windows are blown out. I mean, it's just kind of like in full abandoned mode.
Where is it located over there?
Right on Washington Hill in Eau Claire.
Okay, so like when you're going into Eau Claire,
I have
like
pictures of it, so I could send them to you, like of
okay,
me actually taking them out front.
but so like Washington Hill, what part of Eau Claire is that? Because it's kind of a bigger area.
Kind of by Water Street, like on I think that's the west side of Eau Claire.
Okay,
Yeah. Yep. Where there's a big ski hill and you can see the ski slope like way up on top of Mount Washington, they call it.
okay,
But yeah, it's a cool little area. Like you have to go up like a really steep hill and then there's like this huge sanatorium like sitting on the hill. It's just kind of like, ooh. There used to be an old actual like asylum in Eau Claire too, which is now where Dove West is. And this whole thing has a real good story too. They actually had like an old graveyard that was like right off of the asylum. And they say that there's still like some like unidentified graves there, even though they got rid of all the other graves. So there's like all these ghost stories like when I worked at Dove West about that.
okay,
And my mom lived in Eau Claire at the time when the building still stood. So she knows exactly where it was and
nice.
described to me. And I found pictures of it. So, and that's all kind of in the same area. I mean, at least like a 5 mile radius, all this stuff was in.
Okay,
So it's kind of interesting. I think Eau Claire has an interesting history. But yeah.
yeah. So beyond that, like, so for when like actively investigating, outside of work, where would your first place you have went been?
Let me think about that. Probably Caryville. And I know I was talking about like haunted, like, like creeping yourself out like stuff in high school, but like me and my friend did go there a few times and legit like do like some very, very immature ghost hunting where you just like sit and listen and like, but instead of just like joking around and drinking beers, like we were like actually like, attempting to like experience something.
Yeah.
Um, Caryville is a pretty interesting place. I have seen some YouTube videos from different investigators in Wisconsin that have gone to that cemetery in Caryville because it's pretty well known. It's kind of like one of those places that's like extremely haunted in the local
Okay.
area. Very creepy town, very creepy vibe overall. I would say my first real actual paranormal investigation was Gettysburg, though that was in 2021.
Okay.
Um, Very, very cool. Very cool. We did like one of those where we could like, I don't know, it's kind of like an amateur, kind of similar to like what you guys did at Sheldon, but like very
Okay.
less
Yeah.
people. It was like a private investigation that we kind of like paid for, kind of just because we didn't have equipment yet. And she had a lot of good stuff. She had a music box and a geoport and like an ovulus and all sorts of things. And we had a lot of crazy experiences that night. We were like kind of like off the cemetery. So we went to like 3 or 4 different locations in Gettysburg.
Okay.
And the first one was like right off the cemetery. Because they don't let you go in the cemetery at night, at least not legally. So,
I could see that. Yeah.
but we were damn close. We were like one tree line away from the cemetery or like the battlegrounds, anyways. So we're and kind of by the orphanage there too, because it's kind of like this location was like a wooded area in between both.
Okay.
So we were picking up some stuff from like the orphanage and the battlefields, and anyway, we're getting a lot of activity like with the music box, and then a lot of weird like relevant words like orphanage, children, and then we were getting ages like on command to like when we were asking, how old are you? Like 3, 4, and it was crazy. And then the weirdest thing happened, which I still don't know how to explain. And mind you, this is like 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So water started running. Like we don't know where it was coming from. Like
Interesting.
literally a river came out of the woods, like right next to us. And the lady that we were with is like a resident of Gettysburg because she lives there, she works there, she knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen this before. I've been at this location like a million times. There was no fire hydrants being tested at
That's
1 o'clock
weird.
in the morning. Like we do not understand. There was no rain. Like it didn't make sense. And it was like a full-blown river, like just coming out of the woods, literally coming out of the woods into like the ravine kind of area, like where the trail was.
Yeah.
And we were like, what the heck? We just hear the water sound like in the back. And so we're like investigating what is that sound? So we go over there and then we find this stream river of water. And it was just crazy. I don't know. I know it doesn't sound like it, but it just the situation surrounding it was weird. Like we
That
don't
is
understand.
pretty intense and
There
weird.
was no source for the water. Like it was just strange. So I don't know what that was about. So we left there and then we went to the bridge, the stacks covered bridge, where we got okay evidence. I wouldn't say anything like real crazy.
Okay.
But then we went to the other bridge, and I think it's a lesser known bridge in Gettysburg. It's like the Eisenhower Bridge or something like that. And we got like personal crazy experiences there. Like for her, we were using the Ovilus and I can't remember the guy's name. I want to say it was like Frank or something. And there's this guy, kind of creepy though, not a creepy guy, but he would like ride his bike around in the middle of the night because he knew people would like investigate here and he knew this
Yeah.
gal. And so we were sitting there on the Ovilus and we got like the name of this guy, Frank, the name of his dad, which apparently he had passed away like recently at the time, like a couple weeks before. And we got his name and she goes, well, that's weird. That's the name of so and so's dad. And I go, oh, okay. Like, I don't know anything about these people. And then this guy comes riding up like minutes later on the bike. And she's like, what? And she's like, holy crap. And then she's telling him, like, dude, we just got your dad's name. And this guy's name was like really specific. Like, like something I can't remember, but it was a very unique name. It wasn't like Dan. It was like
Okay.
very specific, like Quinn or something like really, really specific.
Yeah.
And he was like, seriously? And she's like, yeah, like literally a minute before you came up. Like it was just really crazy. And then the guy started crying and it was like this emotional like experience. And it was just a lot. And then we kept getting words like on the Ovilus that were like very relevant to, and like love. And like it was just a lot.
Hmm.
Me and James
Interesting.
were like, wow, this is not the experience I was expecting to have, but it
Yeah.
was cool. Um, yeah, I think that I mean we had a lot of other activity too, and I can't like specifically remember exactly everything, but that was probably the craziest thing that happened to us while we were in Gettysburg. Um, yeah, that was just a lot for me. I think it was more of like a personal experience than just like, okay, these random ghosts from like, the 1800s. This is like a real recent thing. And
Yeah.
like a personal emotional reaction to it by the guy who like, was there. So I was like, oh, this
Right.
is real. Like, this is crazy. So that was cool. That was really cool. Yeah.
So where else after Gettysburg did you venture off to?
Oh gosh, the years blend together. Um,
They sure do.
yeah, we go somewhere every single year. We went to New Orleans. I think that was in 2022. I'm trying to remember where we went in 2021. Oh goodness. Um, so New Orleans, we went to San Francisco and Alcatraz and everything last year. Um, God, I'm like night shift brain. um, yeah, I would say New Orleans was pretty cool. We got a lot of cool SLS imaging, like I had sent you previously. Um,
Hmm.
the building that we were in was like an old hotel, and they had renovated it, obviously. But the area that used to be like in more outdoor area, I think it was like more of like a courtyard patio type area, and they had made it into like an enclosed like ballroom space. So obviously the bathroom that was there wasn't a bathroom before. And we just got crazy evidence in this bathroom. Like, it was bizarre, but it was like kind of awesome at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, we could see the figure literally sitting down in the toilet, reaching to the paper,
That is insane.
standing up, walking out. It was literally nuts. And then, like, on command, we'd be like, okay, put your hand up. He'd be like, it'd be like this. We're like, did it just do that? Holy crap, that's insane.
Right.
And there was another, and this is the same area outside the bathroom, but like out in the ballroom area. We had the cat balls going off in a chair. Okay, so then we took the SLS out and we saw the figure clear as day sitting in the chair where the cat ball was going off. It was just,
Nice.
that was awesome. And then also another creepy. So we did go to a second location when we were there, and I think it was the guy's actual backyard. He was like a medium, and so they did like little seances like in this back garden area. And obviously New Orleans is just really haunted. There's dead bodies everywhere, so you don't know exactly what's going on or who you're talking to all the
Right.
or the history of the location. Um, so we didn't get a lot of evidence, like just sitting and doing like a seance type thing in this like shed, I guess, shed clubhouse type room. But then when we went outside to the courtyard that had like this old historic fountain, we kept getting figures like in all corners like of the courtyard.
Okay.
And the guy was like, I've been told, and I feel that these are like almost like elemental type, like protective spirits.
Okay.
And we could see them like on the SLS just standing. Like it was so creepy, like just little like straight figures in each corner of the property. And they were just standing there. And then like once in a while it would kind of like move a little to the side, but they were so like still.
Hmm.
I was like, I've never seen that on the SLS. It was just really strange. And so yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, it
But
definitely sounds like it. New Orleans on my bucket list to get to someday.
yeah, that was really cool. Um, let's see, Alcatraz. Okay, so yeah, obviously at Alcatraz, we did like the night evening tour or whatever. That was pretty neat. So obviously there's not like a paranormal tour. Okay. So this is like through the National Park Service. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you know, but I heard it's like $20,000 to rent the island or something.
Yeah, I've heard like $10,000, but
Or
still
something
a
crazy like
ridiculous
that.
amount.
Okay, so what I did here, this is what I did. I got creative. They give you like these listening devices so you can listen to this like private, or not private, but like public, like guided tour that was like,
Okay.
I remember by some celebrity. And so I was listening to that. However, on my other ear, I plugged in my spirit box.
Nice. There
I
you
had it in
go.
my pocket the whole time. And actually, I got some crazy shit. So I was just like walking around, listening, and then I would stop if I heard something weird. And like I just couldn't believe like how many relevant words were coming through. And I was not asking questions. Like I was just walking around. I don't want to like draw attention to myself.
Yeah.
I also had my spirit chat in my pocket as well. So I was just trying to do like a little mock as much as I could,
Yeah.
and it was crazy. Like I would get like cell prisoner, like, and I could hear it clear as day. And then like a couple screams, like at one point, and just very, very relevant things on the spirit box. And then it would be like correlated occasionally with the spirit chat. So that was really cool. And I wasn't even like asking questions, I was just listening to see like what I could get. And I think that that tour was probably almost like a trigger object to a certain degree because of like the things they're talking about on there, like there was like prison fights and daily
Yeah.
life. And I just feel like that was kind of like triggering some of things, plus just the people being in there. And then
Yeah.
as it got darker, I felt like the activity actually got less, which was odd. And then they let us like walk around the grounds a little bit too, not as much like as during the day, but like the
Yeah.
path. And I got a lot of interesting words out there too when we were walking up and down. Once it got darker outside, it kind of seemed like it was more relevant to like the Native American history though in Alcatraz. I don't know if you're aware of that at all.
No, not.
There's a lot of they wanted Alcatraz for themselves. Because they felt like it was their property kind of and
Yeah.
their sacred place. So I got a lot of like Native American type words when I was over there, which kind of made sense because there's actually still some remnants on one of the buildings of I think they were like not riots, but protests from
Okay.
like back in like the 40s or 50s. You can still see some of the signs on the buildings out there by the boat area. So I don't know. I just thought that was cool. Even though I wasn't like seeking anything out, I still got like
Yeah.
very relevant stuff. And then when we went to Sheboygan, I think that was last year too. We went to the asylum there. Um, Honestly, this sounds crazy, but we went to this place called Indian Mounds Park, which was like actual burial mounds, kind
Yeah.
of like St. Paul, but like way
Yeah.
different. They're like actual animal shapes. And obviously, I don't think this place has like ever been investigated, like maybe like by some high schoolers, but like we were just like legit trying to investigate it. And this was before we went to the asylum, but I seriously felt like we got crazier evidence at this random burial ground versus,
Interesting.
and I don't know if it's because we were just alone there. But we got some crazy stuff. Like we had the capels going off, and then we had the flashlights going crazy on command, answering questions. There was one time when the spirit chat, I had it on, they had the like opening, like kind of shows like a fake, like what it would have looked like
Okay.
by the mound, like a fake burial. And we actually thought it was real. I don't know why, but we thought it was real stuff in there, like real, um, I don't know, artifacts.
Yeah.
So we really thought it was real. So like when we were saying things, we were like genuine about it because we thought it was real. So I don't know if that put more energy into it or something, but we had this one. The craziest thing I think that happened was we heard this super loud crack sound what underneath the flashlight that was like sitting on this like metal wooden post thing, and it was so loud that the flashlight legit fell off the post, and we were freaking out like, what was that? And we are just like, oh my god, like we couldn't figure out if something like dropped onto it or if it like
Okay.
got thrown off, or it was terrifying. And this was like before, of course, before we really filmed anything. James got like a couple short videos, but I don't think we caught that on camera. But it was crazy. And then we put the spirit chat, like I said, on that little area that was like an opened area. And we were just like, okay, do you like it better when we turn the flashlights off? Do you like it dark? Is it too bright? It said lights off on the
Oh,
spirit chat like seconds after I said that. And me and James were like, what?
that's
Oh,
crazy.
first time we tried the spirit box there, and like so we were learning, but it was just crazy. I just like literally, I think it was our fear, to be honest, a little bit. On top of everything else, maybe, though we're in like a small group. And I just feel like the vibes there were just like intense too. Like the energy there was just a lot. It was
Yeah.
just going into this area, it had this creepy, intense vibe to it. We both felt that way. We were like, okay, I don't feel like we're supposed to be here. Like, and it's not, it was
Yeah.
like open park. We're not breaking any rules. We're not doing anything wrong. It was like in the middle of a residential area, which was really strange, but it was a decent size park. And then they even had like this little trail that would go down by like this like little running creek. So there was running water like through that area, which I feel like maybe escalated things a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
But I just couldn't believe like we had cat balls going off nonstop, like flashlights on nonstop, crazy words on the spirit box. I wish we had a paranormal recorder at that time because we probably would have got crazy evidence. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was wild. It was wild. Um, yeah, I don't know. I gotta think for a minute about some other things, but it's like seems like those random locations that you go to
Oh, yeah.
have like the craziest things happen because he's like, oh, it'll be cool, but it won't be that much.
Well, it's
And
kind of like for Natalie and I, it wasn't like a really random location, but this past April we were down in Chicago. She wanted to go see some YouTubers in the show. Well, I think on one of the days, I can't remember if it was after, but we went and did a 2 hour day tour of Joliet prison. And
mm,
you can't really investigate, but we kind of did a little bit here and there, but it's like, we didn't really catch anything like on camera or anything, but it's like we
yeah,
definitely like there's this one building we heard something shuffling inside where there shouldn't have been anybody in there. And so
mm,
it's like I wish we could get there and investigate at night, but it's like one of those places that's like $5,000 for like
yeah,
4 hours.
yeah, that's crazy. That's weird because it's not like that big of a place. So I don't know.
Well, it's I guess from what I've been told is the people that own it don't believe in the paranormal, so they
Oh,
jack the prices up to
God, or they
keep
just
people
don't.
away.
Got it. Okay. But they can't completely. So they're like, well, we'll make a profit.
Right.
I got that. That's lame though.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm just kind of looking here to see if I can like spur any memories in my mind. I guess I forgot to talk about I think I told you guys about this, about the experience we had in Door County in Wisconsin in 2020. We went to like this like super old burial ground, cemetery, I guess you could say, but almost not. Um, it was like by like an actual modern cemetery in which was actually inside a state park. It is a very interesting situation. So like there's this huge cemetery, and then there's this lesser known, not even marked, which is sad. I feel like they should do that. I don't know if they just keep it unmarked to keep people like out of there.
Yeah, probably.
But it's literally across the street from one of the state park campgrounds. Okay. But it's like a tiny little, like, hidden trail that we had to find out from the ghost tour that we took when we were there. And so we were like struggling to find this trail. And we went in there, finally found it, and thought we were on the right trail. Then it was actually the trail next to the official walking trail. And it's like not
Okay.
even a trail, it's just like this random little space in the deep brush.
Hmm.
So we enter there, and then there's this huge like opening where there's like the whole cemetery sign, like buried in the woods. It was just crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's just bizarre. I don't know why like I said, I'm sure that's why they don't open it up, but it's like it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, they have a lot of very old graves in there. There's one of a little child that they talk about on the ghost tour where there's like a little lamb in the grave, and then people like leave trinkets there, and there's like a bunch of lore about the ghost like follows you around Door County like while you're there if you
Hmm.
leave him a treat or something. And then the founder of Door County, so like in 1600s, like they have a grave for him there because apparently he was buried
Wow.
there. Like this is like the oldest grave that I know of in Wisconsin, very old stuff. And there's just a lot of old graves, but the vibe, we went there in the day when I was with my parents, probably in like 2017. We've been to Door County a million times. It was like my parents' favorite place to go. Absolutely beautiful, amazing history. I
Oh,
just
for
love it.
sure. Love it up there.
Love it there. But I wanted to go with James because I was like, I wanted to experience more of the paranormal aspects of it because I've heard so much about it. And obviously like Duluth, that whole area has a lot of ghostly
Yeah.
vibes. So we were like, let's go this place in the night because they like dared us to do it on the ghost tour. And I was like, all right, let's do it. Like, we're really gonna do it. And this was like way before I did anything like investigation wise.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, I'm bringing my camera, like my digital camera, take still photos. And that was basically like all I had. And I did take some photos of the graves and stuff in the night. And it was just like the vibe there was just like, I don't know. I just like felt like almost like deeply like it was like super humid or something, but it wasn't humid. It was like
Yeah.
late, like maybe early September or something. It wasn't that humid, but when you were like breathing, it was just like intense. Like, I don't know, it just felt heavy. That's the
Yeah.
word.
I get it.
Heavy. And like somebody was watching you like the whole time we were in there. And then as we're leaving, we could hear like some kind of rustling, and we're like, okay, it could be an animal. We're like, it's fine, probably like a squirrel or something. Whatever. So we're walking out. I'm like, okay, I want to take one more picture, like right here. Just, I don't know why I had this feeling. So I took a picture. Well, a lot of pictures, like a bunch. Um, And when I reviewed it, we reviewed it right there because I was like really curious. I don't even know why I did that. I just like had this feeling, I guess. And there's like this huge person-shaped white shadow thing standing like next to the side of the
Mhm.
cemetery sign. And I was like, oh my God. And then James is like, we need to go. And I was like, well, okay. But he was like very like urgent. And I was like,
Yeah.
what's wrong? He's like, I don't know. I just feel like we need to go. And I was like, okay. And then I don't know why, but the energy like seemed to change a little bit after that. And we just got like freaked out and we like booked ass there because we got this really strong feeling
Yeah.
again. We need to leave now. Like this is bad. Like something negative. I don't want to assume something, but it just felt wrong and it hadn't felt
Yeah.
like previously. So I don't know why that maybe it's mad that we took photos or something. I don't know, but we just like left because we got a bad vibe. So that was cool though. Just in like checking that little like secret place out.
Yeah.
And then obviously we went to some other historic places during the day. We didn't really do like any investigating, but I think a lot of the history there is really cool either way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I
So
don't
going back to
know.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, I have like an interest in like outdoor locations. I just feel like they're almost like kind of mystifying because I don't know if it's just like you wonder like what's there. But
Yeah.
I'm drawn to these like outdoor locations. I just feel like the history is like very interesting, and if there is activity, it's just like where's it coming from? Is it
Right.
elemental? Is it spirits? Is like I don't know. I just think it's eerie. Outdoor locations are eerie to me, and like woods and stuff.
Right, for
I don't
sure.
know. And I'm not talking cemeteries. I'm talking like like the things I've talked about previously.
Yeah.
Just eerie about those locations compared to like indoor ones. There's not that safety of a structure. You're like outside and it's just
Yeah.
open to the elements, and I don't know, something
Yep.
about it. Yeah.
So let's go back to earlier this year when we first met. I don't think we really got to spend much time together at the Sheldon. What did you guys experience there? Because that night I was just kind of everywhere.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so we got some interesting things. I had like the spirit chat and I had the spirit talker. We had like a whole bunch of different like chat devices on, which was really cool because we were getting different responses like across all three that were like relevant. Um, which is always cool because it's like kind of like more convincing when you have all three devices saying similar things.
Yeah.
We kept the music box going off around the corner, like when we were downstairs in that sitting room area by the
Yep.
kitchenette, kept going off. And we were like, okay, there's no one over there. And we go over there, nobody's there. It just kept happening. And we are like, what is going on? Then we kept thinking it was somebody every time. We were like convinced. And then I think there was one time when we heard footsteps over there. So we really thought it was a person. And then nobody was there. And then also that little like storage room, I guess, maybe workshop area
Oh,
had
yep.
some creepy vibes. The other person that we were working with kept getting some crazy things on the spirit talker between the spirit chat and spirit talker while she was in there, like don't go in there and like stuff like that while she was in there. And she just said she got like this really bad vibe in there and like thought she was maybe touched, but didn't know for sure. But she's like, I don't know, I probably was. I just like tried to pretend it didn't happen. You know, that because she was like pretty new. That was the night when we had a lot of like wasn't just like people like interested in the paranormal that were there. So they didn't like, you
Yeah.
know, genuinely not sure what was happening, you know, like what just went on right now. So she was a little spooked by that. We got a lot of cat ball activity. I'm trying to think. We had um the motion detector go off a couple times in the theater too. I know, like when no one was walking around. And then the one thing I remember too that the cat ball went off on the seat next to me. Nobody was by me and nobody was moving. Like everybody was dead still because you're just listening.
Yeah.
And we were all in like the main theater, and the cat ball went off on the chair right next to me. And then the flashlight was going off on the stage, kind of by me, but not exactly by me, right by
Yeah.
me, like 3 rows away. So it was all by itself, um, which was pretty crazy. And then I think they had a lot of good, trying to think, spirit chat activity too. It was like saying weird stuff, kind of relevant to what they were saying. In the Estes method that they were doing, because they were doing a dual Estes
Yep.
method. Sometimes the spirit chat would say a real relevant word related to like what they were saying, which was crazy. I'm trying to think of anything else. We had some interesting activity downstairs in like the mirror room, like
Oh,
the
yep. The
room.
the
Lot of
frames or whatever they
Yeah,
are.
a lot of cat ball activity in there, kind of like freaking everybody out because we had 3 or 4 cat balls kind of just randomly placed in there. And there was one time they were kind of going off sporadically, but there was one time where it was like one ball here, one ball here, one ball here, and they were all like on this thing, like somebody walked by.
That's
Like
crazy.
it was weird. Um, yeah, I'm trying to. There was a lot of little things. I'm trying to. There wasn't anything else like real, like oh my gosh, though.
So I think a lot of it too is like the activity there. I don't know if you realize or if we brought it up when we were there, but there's a river that runs underneath Red Wing,
Oh yeah,
and then you
yeah,
can actually, see it and hear it from one of those back storage rooms.
yeah. So that's interesting. So we went in that storage room that you're talking about, where the running water was, and we sat in there, even though it was nasty and dirty in there. we made every attempt. We couldn't get anything at all. Like it was just dead in there. I don't, it was
Really?
weird because everywhere else it was extremely active. I want to say extremely, but it was somewhat active. We got like something, but we didn't get anything on the spirit chat. Like it literally didn't say any words when we were in there. It was weird. No cat ball activity. We tried to do a voice recorder. We didn't get anything in there. It was so strange. I don't know if it was just like because it was like the end of the night and the activity kind of just like died off or what exactly, but we
Possible.
made an attempt in there and we didn't get anything in there. And I thought it would have been the other way around. So we were
Right.
all bummed about that. But
It
sometimes that happens.
happens.
Yeah. I don't know. It could be that the activity was just, that could be feeding activity, but doesn't necessarily mean the activity lives in there, like I
Yeah.
mean, why would it? There's nothing in there,
Yeah.
you know. So it was like just worth a shot, but yeah.
Yeah. So that was our second time there. So I'm kind of excited to get back there in December to kind of, you know, see what happens if we get some more concrete answers, bring in, along a couple psychic mediums, see if that can get some more history into the paranormal there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'll be interesting. I have never done an actual seance, so I thought that would be cool.
Yeah, we did a virtual one. When was that? Back in end of June, I think. That was pretty interesting, but it's like to actually be part of one in person will be obviously a lot different,
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of gives me like Winchester House vibes. I
right?
don't know why.
So
I
I'm
went
just
to Winchester House though. That was
oh,
cool during the day, obviously, but yeah.
someday we'll get out there.
Yeah, it was cool. I think just going on the tour was cool, to be honest. But they do have like a Halloween tour I found out this year looking at stuff. And I was like, oh, what? I didn't know about that. So that's cool.
You know,
Kind of like a private tour at night.
that'd be
So
awesome.
maybe one year, even if we don't do like an investigation, I still think that would be cool because they do, like a kind of a paranormal investigation of sorts, but it's kind of more of a seance type vibe. Because it's like
Yeah.
in um in respect to Sarah Winchester, they do it every year, like
Okay.
dance room around Halloween, because that's what she did apparently. So yeah, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. Well, we'll skip over Farrar because I don't want to give
Yeah, it's
any
fun.
spoilers on that yet since that's still fresh and but that was definitely probably my most active investigation I've been part of yet.
First time I've ever seen a REM pod go off like that ever.
Yeah, it was definitely something that night,
Yeah, that was cool. I was kind of convinced they didn't even work, to be honest.
right?
I know they don't go off very often though, but that's a good thing, I think, because I think it shows like the genuineness of that, like that they when it does go off, it's like real,
Yep.
it's not going off all the time. So I think that's cool. But
And then up next for you guys, you're on your road trip to Salem, right?
yeah, I am excited because like I told you, we have a investigation with Sherry. Is it Sherry? I think it's Sherry of ghost hunters on
That's
Halloween.
awesome.
And I'm like so excited. And it was like something I randomly found when I was scrolling for like an hour when I was trying to go to bed. And it was like, I think it only came up because of something else that I had like signed up for in Salem. So it was kind of like a lesser known thing on like a private historic website for the town of Beverly, which is like right next to Salem, like five
Okay.
minutes. And yeah, so I was like, oh my God, what is this? And they had posted it like 4 hours before that. So it was
Crazy.
like fresh. And I'm just stoked because it's gonna be so cool. I just like maybe get some tips, from her and see like
Right.
how I think it'll be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm
then we're also
jealous.
yeah, I don't know. It was just meant to be, I guess. I was gonna sign up for something else that night actually, and then it ended up not working out because they had sold the tickets. So I was like, oh my God, this is just like meant to be.
Yeah.
And I think Saturday night. No, Thursday night. We're doing the Gallows Hill Museum. They have a ghost hunt at night. So that'll be cool. And they like invite you to bring in your own stuff. So I am gonna bring some of my own stuff. I wish they let you go to Gallows Hill at night though, but there is like a very strict rule, like almost a law there.
Hmm.
You will get arrested if you go to
Well,
Gallows Hill.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, so anyway, it's okay. I don't mind going there during the day. I mean, I've heard from a lot of people there's like or seen in videos and stuff that there's a lot of activity there during the day. So it doesn't really matter what time of day it is.
Yeah.
It's a weird place though. It's like a children's park. Like
Hmm.
the location of the original Gallows Hill is literally in a children's park. So it's like this creepy haunted park
Okay.
up on a hill. Like it's weird. Yeah. Um, and then we're gonna do some Halloween stuff, like there's a Halloween haunt that we're gonna check out called Blackcraft Haunt. A lot of cool, like, medium stuff. They have a witch mall where they do like readings, and I don't know. I want to get like some of that vibe while I'm there too. I think
Yeah.
it's cool to get like a psychic reading because I've never had that done and stuff like that. Um, Maybe I'll pick up some sage and stuff because they have a store like for that there too.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Yeah, it'll be really cool, I think, just to experience that because it's like real high hypes on Halloween, a lot of like
Oh,
costume stuff too. So I just think it'll like be like kind of like a real life Halloween town.
oh, for sure.
Yeah. So I am very excited. Yeah. It was a last minute trip in general, though. We didn't really, I think it was like end of August, maybe September, that we were like, nope, we're just going to go like
Nice.
decision for no reason. We were going to make it like a weekly trip, like we do every year. We make it a week, but we were like, yeah, we got to go this year for some reason. So it's only like Wednesday through Sunday, but
Yeah, still, it's worth it.
yeah, for sure. I packed as much as I could into those few days. Oh, I forgot. So Hammond Castle is like this like castle built in like the early 1900s by some poet, I think. It's like in Hammond, Massachusetts. That's like on the way to our hotel, kind of. That's in
Okay.
Rockport. And they do like a spiritual seance night. So they do this like 3 or 4 days a night. And it ended up being on Wednesday and Thursday. And that's it, like for the whole year. Wednesday's the day we land. And I was like, we can't do anything else really.
Yeah.
So I found this random place and I was like, oh my God, this looks so cool. It doesn't really give like a real like specific description. It just says that there might be like a seance or something. And then you do like a self-guided like night tour of the castle.
Okay.
And the castle is like, I don't know, like a medieval vibe. Like this guy like made it to look like a medieval castle in Ireland, but it was built in like the 1900s. So I don't know. I think it reminds me a lot of my Ireland trip. But yeah, it was like super cool, I think. I'm glad that we got that too. I don't know how that's gonna go, but I might bring something with me. I like the spirit chat because I can like put it in my pocket and carry it around
Right.
and I can just check it, and like
Yeah.
be like less obvious about it, when I'm maybe not supposed to be doing that stuff.
Yeah.
So, and like the digital recorder too, I've used too for that purpose. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Sounds like you guys have a great trip planned.
I know, and I didn't even talk about my Ireland trip, but it's like so we brought stuff with us to we went on our honeymoon to Ireland, okay? We brought paranormal stuff with us. And then for some reason, we went to the Hellfire Caves in Ireland, climbed this giant hill, and I didn't bring any paranormal equipment with
Oh,
me.
geez.
I was like, what the heck? Okay, I brought one thing. I think I brought my digital recorder, but I don't even know why I didn't bring more stuff with me. And I didn't have that much stuff at the time. Like I did have my spirit chat and stuff, but I didn't have a whole lot of other things. I just don't know why. Like I don't remember if we were like in a hurry or what exactly, but I think that's okay because the vibe up there, it was more of like a feeling. So like we just kind of sat in the dark, and like listened for sounds and
Yeah.
stuff. Um, and it wasn't as creepy as I thought it would be. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was kind of like weirdly like calming up there. I don't know if
Oh,
it was like the beauty of like the city lights and like the breeze, and it wasn't as creepy as I actually anticipated it being. So we went back to like the roots, and just kind of sat there and just listened for sounds. And we got some weird sounds, but I was more terrified of the spiders in there.
Yeah, no spiders for
There
me.
was some big slugs in there. It was
Ugh,
nasty. But anyway, yeah, that was a really cool trip too. Um, a lot of cool things. We didn't get to go to Loftus Hall because Loftus Hall is supposed to be remodeled into this fancy hotel that they have a whole website about that was supposed to have opened like I don't know 2 months before we had actually arrived in Ireland, and we found out from some local guy at the lighthouse that the owner ran out of money and fell into misfortune and all this shit. And I was like, dude, that's exactly what happens to every owner of this place.
right.
Crazy. And they still have the website, like the place is gonna open, but the guy ran out of money and like it's
Oh,
just they're abandoned. So I wish they would like open it again to tours and stuff like they had before, but I mean, he would make money at least from it, possibly. So I don't know. Let's see.
right. Yeah, I did a podcast some time ago with somebody from over in Ireland and got one coming up with her again next month. And she goes, "Yep, if you're ever over in Ireland, let me know when you're coming and I'll show you all the cool spots."
Yeah, we tried to go to quite a few. The one castle that that older guy like completely redid was pretty neat. We went there during the day. And he doesn't charge anything. Like he's just like such a humble guy. He's like, tips are appreciated, but I'm not expected. And he tells you like the whole history of the land, like gives you like a full tour and then lets you walk around his house. He lives there, lets you walk around the house, look around, lets you spend as much time as you want. It's so
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, a lot of people are like that there, and they're just like they want to show off their beautiful house, and I don't blame them. You put all this money into redoing that place, for 25 years, I think he said.
Wow.
And so like he literally just takes the money he gets from tips to like keep into like the house, to fix it up and stuff. So I think it's cool. I can't believe he did all that work by himself though.
That's
He did the
crazy.
fireplace and like the ceilings and just crazy, absolutely crazy. But the history there was pretty cool. I'm trying to think of the name of that place. It's like escaping my mind right at the moment. I know you know this place though. It's the other famous ish castle that a lot of investigators have went to in Ireland. I think Haunted Nights was like literally just there in a
Oh, I
video.
think I know what you're talking about, but yeah, I
I
have
can't think of the name for some reason, and it's a really cool place. But yeah, this random guy. There's no like big team of people. Like it's him and his wife. They live there, and you literally just message him. He has the website, and he puts his phone number on the website, and you literally just text him any time of day and say, well, not any time of day, but like
yeah,
a reasonable time. And you just say, hey, I'm coming, and he just lets you in his house, like legit. There is
nice.
no
That's
planning.
awesome.
He just said, text me when you can get here. And I was like, that's amazing. So we just showed up at his door.
That's
Got
awesome.
cute. Yeah, it was really cool. Really cool. Kind of just road tripping across Ireland. We're like, let's stop here and just literally showed up within 3 hours of texting him. We just came. There
That's
was no
cool.
appointment times. Yeah. Yeah. He's like, are you done already? And we're like, yeah, we got to get going. And he's like, oh, I hope you enjoyed it. And he was just really nice. Yeah. It
Cool.
was cool.
So one question I like always asking when I do podcasts towards the end is name three bucket list locations you like to go to and why.
That's so hard.
It is. It's a tough question.
I mean, I'm probably gonna say that and then I'm gonna forget one. Okay, the Sally House I wanted to go to for a long time. I don't know if I actually want to go there, if I just think I do, but that's on the list. And I've actually been outside of the building, as I've told you before, but I
Yeah.
didn't get to go in, so that was lame. Trans-Allegheny, yeah, it's on the list. I think for me it was the video with Destination Fear when they had their cell phone doing a bunch of weird things.
Oh, yeah.
Electric, just the activity there is insane. It's like next level for me. I just would love to experience that. That just
Yeah,
seems insane.
they were just back there. So that they'll have that video coming out soon.
Yeah. Um, God. And the last one I'm trying to think because I know there's something I'm forgetting. Probably Loftus Hall. I'll throw that out there. But I'm sure there's something else I'm forgetting because there's
Oh,
always something.
there's so many.
But yeah, Loftus Hall would be cool on 100%. Very infamous place. Um, Interesting fact, the only two staircases that are in existence by this one carpenter, one is in the Titanic at the bottom of the sea, and the other one is in Loftus Hall.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't know that either until the guy at the lighthouse that is right down the road from Loftus Hall had told us that on the tour. So yeah, like I guess Loftus Hall has the literal exact same staircase as the Titanic, which is crazy. I didn't know that.
Very interesting.
Yeah, very cool. So yeah, I don't know if I think of something else to let you know, but I'm sure there's things.
Oh yeah, there's
They're just
always
fresh in my mind lately, and there's probably like over 20 locations that are on my true bucket list.
oh,
So
I think with everybody the same thing.
probably like 50. But yeah, no, for sure, Sally House. So that's like I've wanted to go there since that place like kind of became popular. The activity there is nuts.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to be there,
Physical
like,
objects moving in front of your
like,
eyes. It's
or have the
crazy.
TV turn on in front of you, be like,
Yeah,
"Hmm,
that stuff is like poltergeist,
yeah,
like movie level crazy, like that
oh, for
can't
sure.
happen in real life. And it does, it's just insane.
Yeah,
So that would be cool to experience. I want to see an object move, like I guess technically the flashlight, but I don't like for sure, like a ball move. Like
yeah,
I want to see that,
yeah.
that'd be
Or even if
crazy.
I saw a chair move like 2, 3 inches.
Yeah, any inanimate object, like just move for no apparent reason would be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I think up next for us in about what, a month, we'll be at the Boyd House.
Yeah, there was just some people there too, a little bit ago, and they've been posting all about it on Facebook. And I'm like, oh my God, like this guy caught like the craziest EVP of his life, apparently. And it was pretty crazy. So
I will tell you this,
I'm excited. Yeah.
going into the Boyd House, that is the only place that Natalie and I have been run out of twice.
Yeah, that's what James told me. He had told you, so or you told him. So I don't know. I'm up for it. Like I've been to Zach Bagans Museum and I went in the basement and I stood down there by myself for 20 minutes. I'm
Well,
ready.
yeah, I don't know what it is
I'm not
with
scared.
the Boyd. It's not really me per se. It's
When you're sleeping,
stuff
you're fine.
that like Natalie's encountered that's like she's wanted to leave. So,
I mean, it's just like when you're sleeping, it's like you're vulnerable and like, you turn off that paranormal investigator mode and just want to sleep. So I could see how like if something were to happen and freak you out during that time, it's kind of like, like you're crossing my boundaries, kind of,
well, the
I get
first
it.
time we were only there 2 hours in the middle of the investigation,
Oh,
and we left at 10 at night. So
geez.
we didn't even make it till like past midnight. And the
Hmm.
second time it was about 2 or 2:30 in the morning where we heard something running around on the wood floor upstairs. I'm like, I'm not going up to see what that is. I'm like, and she goes, I want to go home. So we packed up and drove 2.5 hours back home.
That reminds me of this one time in my old house. I don't know if that house was haunted. I don't know if it was me that was haunted or the house, to be honest. But 3 o'clock in the morning, all the lights in the entire house shut off. Okay. So the plugs worked. So the lamps worked, but the lights didn't work. Okay.
Okay.
I was not going down to the basement to reset the breaker. And it was
I don't blame you.
exactly 3 o'clock in the morning. Electrician had been in that house multiple times. That house had weird electric problems. Um, Built in 1912. So I don't know, but it was very strange. There was a cavern space underneath like the bed in the main room where we think that they stored alcohol back in the prohibition because it was like a carved out area in the floor where it was literally just like an enclosed space for something to hide. We were like, I bet you this is for them because
Right.
Didn't make sense otherwise.
That kind of
So
reminds me of this apartment I used to have. So I
yeah.
rented out the whole top floor, and then if the power ever went out, I had to go outside. I had to go down my stairs around the front of the house to the back of the house into the area where
Mm,
the people lived downstairs and go into
geez.
their basement, which was it
Like
looked
a
like a torture chamber. It was
like
like
a crawl space.
no, it was like an actual basement,
Oh,
but it was
that's
like all concrete, old
yeah.
brick, like the old wooden
Cool.
workspace and all that, and like super dusty
Yeah.
and cobwebby, and like the breakers were probably like from the 1950s. I'm just like,
Yeah, that's this house had some wild
I go,
electricity.
I'm not going down there. I wouldn't even go down there during the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty weird, but I kind of enticed it. I was like talking to I had someone I knew that had passed away, and I had kind of, I don't know, I guess in like my despair, I was in the basement and I was like, if you're here, let me know you're here. And I was like crying and like, I don't know. And then the next night that happened. So I was like, okay, that's weird. Pretty freaked out, calling my friend, like freaking out on the phone and all
Right.
that because I was like, what just happened? Like, but that wasn't the first time we had issues in that house. It was just like the first real crazy thing. And it only
Yeah,
happened once. Nobody could tell us why, but it wasn't the whole power. So it was very strange. Very
that's
strange.
weird.
I didn't even know that could happen with the power, like that you could just have the switches work, but not the lights.
That is crazy.
It was weird. At least I had a lamp though. Like I wasn't in the total darkness.
Yeah,
Yeah, and there was only one light on in the whole house when that happened. So it wasn't like I blew a breaker from having too many lights on. It was just really weird.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Well, anyways, with that, I don't think I have anything else.
I don't think of anything either.
I'm excited to hear about your trip when you guys get back and excited to do the Boyd House and kind of a, you know, last minute impromptu investigation, but why not?
Yeah, for real, like right before the holidays.
Yep.
Or it gets, I think it'll be cool because at least if it's cold outside, it's like a legit livable like building.
Yep. The heat's kept at 70 degrees. It's got a kitchen,
Not
electricity.
in a
So
haunted
it's like,
asylum at 30 degrees. Like
right. Oh, we can make it 30 degrees, open the windows.
we can sleep there and we don't have to pay for a hotel. I love that. And I'm
Yep.
not, I don't care. My drive to save money will override my fear of something happens.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the economy, right? Like
Yep.
unless something grabs my hair and pulls it, it's going to be pretty hard to get me out of there.
Yeah. I've heard so many people like say there's negative energy there, there's
Yeah,
demons.
I don't get that either. A lot of people lately say it's like not negative, so I
Like
don't
as
know.
I said, we've been there twice
Yeah.
and we've been run out of there twice, but it has nothing really to do with like anything negative. It's just, the first time it was like sirens going off at 10 o'clock and Natty got freaked out and she wanted to go home. She wasn't feeling
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Second time, it was whatever was running around the floor upstairs, which most likely was the rumored ghost cat, but 2:30 in the morning,
Pretty freaky.
really
Yeah.
wants to go upstairs and check something like that out.
That's
So
pretty freaky. Isn't that where the bedrooms are too? Is on the second floor?
one bedroom, yeah. And
Yeah.
like
So
our friends were up there sleeping, and I didn't want to go up there and turn the lights on and wake them up. So I'm like,
yeah.
bolt. And then we didn't, I thought I told them that we left, but they didn't find out until they watched one of our other podcasts when
They
it's like
didn't know you left, like legit. They just what?
I
They didn't know you
forgot to,
left in the morning or what?
yeah, I forgot to tell them that we left in the middle of the night and they found out from a podcast.
You're funny.
Oops, it happens.
Yeah. Oh, I got this alarm. It keeps going off. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Might change the laundry reminder.
Oh, hey, you got to do that.
I don't know. I should just click cancel. Yeah. There we go.
Well, anyways, with that, You have a safe trip, and we will talk when you get back.
Yep, I gotta finish reviewing footage. So I had to work all weekend, so
Yeah, I have to go through a ton of footage. I'm just starting to go through Waverly stuff from this last June. That's gonna take a while.
yeah, I bet. I have the drive working. I love that you had told me that because I never even thought of that for transferring files. That's a good idea.
And one other thing, before I forget to mention, we will not have new sweatshirts by the time of the Boyd House.
Darn, that's okay.
But I have older
I
logos. I have older logo sweatshirts. The new ones I'll wait till spring just because this time of year is like the busy year and
Yeah,
I want them done right. I want them embroidered instead of just like something slapped
yeah.
and ironed on there. So
I get what you're saying, yeah. And like one of those nice like polyester shirts, and like the cheap.
yeah, so we'll wait for spring for the newer stuff.
It's funny that you wear your Project Fear shirt or sweater because I was gonna wear my Project Fear shirt and I should have done it, but I wore my Gettysburg shirt.
There you go.
But still, I should have. We would have been matching. It's weird.
But yeah, this week I'll be wearing something ghostly every day since it's Halloween week.
Yeah. Well, for Salem, I have a like Freddy Krueger kind of costume picked out for Slasher Thursday.
Oh,
So
nice. That sounds
we'll
awesome.
see how that goes. It's like a fashionable version, but it'll work. Yeah.
Yeah, on Thursday at school for like theme week this week is twin day. Well, there's one student, she went on an investigation with us over the summer, so we're each gonna wear our Nightmare.Explorers sweatshirt on Thursday.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Should have done the twins from The Shining.
I am not wearing a dress. No, 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 no.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a valid point.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't think of that.
I get some weird looks from the students probably be like, what are
I
you
think they
wearing?
would love it though.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. All right.
Anyways, with that, you have a good rest of the night.
Yeah, you too.
All right, we will talk soon.
Yep.
All right, bye.
Bye.